Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Shelbyville Now Sports Live. I've got with me here today Mr. Bill Anderson and Mr. Kenny Parker to give you expert analysis of high school football games that we had take place last night here in the county and in the area. And we'll also talk a little college football too, to get y'all to make some predictions again. But we want to say a special thanks to Mr. Randy Carroll. He is a candidate for city mayor here in Shelbyville, and he is our sponsor today. Let's hear a word from him, and we'll be right back with our take on the games. We'll be right back.
All
right, guys. As you can tell, that was not Mr. Randy Carroll.
No, what?
That was Craig and Wheeler. We want to thank them too.
Coach Parker's going to fix it.
I got my pliers and my Leatherman here, so let me have that computer and I'll see what I can do.
That might work. Sometimes I've used a hammer. And it works good.
Sledgehammer's the best thing you can use.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Let's talk about the games that we had last night here in the county. We had Webb and Friendship. Friendship is undefeated coming into that game. Webb has won 2 games, and Friendship is still undefeated.
Didn't surprise me. Friendship's got a lot of tradition going on there. They've played football, good football,
really
for
good.
A long time. Coach has done a good job. He's been there. He's probably Coach McNeil may be getting close to 200 wins or exceeded 200 wins. So he's been doing good things there in Wilson County for a long time.
And for a private school, if you've ever been there, and I've gone to a game or two, especially when Coach Fuller and Coach Lewis were at Monterey, it was a playoff game we went to. The atmosphere at Friendship for a private school is unbelievable. I mean, you're talking
Where's that
crowds.
located?
It's in Wilson County. It's in between Lebanon and I'm not sure.
Not Juliet, isn't it? In between the two.
Yeah, we when I was in high school, we played at Cascade. We played Friendship Christian, and then when I took the head job at Cascade, we would scrimmage Friendship early in the years.
You didn't do that too many times, though, did you, Coach?
Yeah. It was very good scrimmages. I mean,
because they got athletes.
We were competitive with them.
They were recruiting before it was legal. I'll put it that way. They were recruiting before it was okay to recruit.
And what are you saying, Bill?
I'm saying I've always recruited. They've always recruited.
They actually went out and recruited.
Absolutely.
To play there. Well, okay.
And they're very good and well coached, but it's a great atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Webb, they're 2-4 on the year. They've got 2 wins. That's good. And they got to be rebuilding a little bit.
Always.
Yeah.
New coach.
Yeah, new coach. So
Hadn't had football long.
No. Still a program.
It's not basketball where you can just go get 6 kids. This is football where you've got, what I'm saying? I mean, coach knows.
Numbers are hurting them.
Right, numbers hurt you.
Yeah. Well, we wish them the best of luck the rest of this season because they can get better. They can keep playing and get
better. They got a bye
Yeah.
week this week, so they can work on themselves. And then, they've got. I know they got Middle Tennessee Christian coming up, and a couple other games, but they'll get it going.
Okay, so we had that one. Then we had community, Sequatchie County, and you had to expect Sequatchie County coming in and playing good because they're leading the. Well, what are they?
They're the number 2 team. That district's going to be Sequatchie and Giles.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be Giles.
Yeah,
and
it's going to be Sequatchie.
Yeah,
That's right.
Sequatchie. What are they? 3-0 right now in the region.
Yeah,
and Giles is 2-0, and they just got one more.
Right.
They played more games.
The community had their players back last night.
I doubt if they had them back.
I do too, because if they did, I don't think they would have been shut out.
I know they didn't have one of them back.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Fleming will be back this year.
Is that right?
They were hoping they could get him back for the last game of the season, which is what they're banking on because they play Grundy
Yeah.
that last game, and that's
Right.
That's the playoff ticket game.
Yeah, it is. They beat them. That puts them at 4th.
Whoever wins that game is in.
Yeah. So, is it a lower body injury that he possibly has?
It's a knee injury.
Okay. All right. Well, we want to wish him the best and get him back out on the field.
Agree.
That's going to help them tremendously. It gives them a deep threat.
And they play Huntland this week, so at Community, and I believe that may very well be the only team in the county this week that's at home. Because
Yeah.
Shelbyville's going to Hendersonville,
Right.
Cascade's going to Joe Burns,
Right.
Webb's idle. They don't play
Right.
this week, so Community Huntland is the only
home
game in
Okay. Well, that's good.
in Bedford County.
The final score of that game last night was 37-0. So Sequatchie is that moves them to 5-2, and of course that puts us at 1-5, I think. All right, let's move over to the Shelbyville Lebanon game. Shelbyville went down 41-7. They go to 0-6, and we knew Lebanon coming in was loaded with talent, and we saw it last night. But the game started off
good.
It
It
did.
sure did.
Yeah, and
Chandler had that touchdown run.
Second
7-0.
play of the game at 63. Lebanon kicked off to Shelbyville, and he got the first carry, went for 2. They kicked it out of bounds, so they got it on 35.
Yeah.
He got 2 on first play, and then second play he goes for 63. So
yeah, and he showed some speed. He
and
pulled
he
away
did,
from him.
and made some good cuts to
Get
get
there.
in the open.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
All right, so Shelbyville has the lead 7-0 after a couple minutes there. Lebanon gets the ball, and they move. They get a couple of plays in, and the game's halted because the scoreboard quits. I'm blaming it on the scoreboard, guys.
And
they
then
just killed our momentum right
and,
there.
and the 40-second clock, the clock quit too.
Yeah. I was talking with Mr. Bobo as he was
Just
trying
missed-
to run it, and he
Just
said, it
missed
just
all
quit.
the momentum
Yeah,
up.
it did. That was it right there. So, but anyway, talking about Lebanon, they had a quarterback that had a rocket arm, and he showed it last night. That's pretty much what he did all night. Was throwing
Yeah,
deep.
they've got a number 2. I don't.
Yeah, buddy.
Sorry, brother. I don't know your name, but I know your number,
Yeah.
and that's because I saw it in a flash. That dude can run.
Yes,
Sure
he can.
He can go.
You know, right there at halftime, Kenny, we was talking, and we didn't need the scoreboard. We didn't need to see it after that. But
But if you go back, and I will mention this, and you go back and somebody sent me the tape, and I watched Coffee County actually beat Lebanon. Now, we were never going to beat Lebanon. We didn't have the athletes. However, Coffee County ran zone coverage and played back. We continued, and we just got burned doing it.
yeah,
You can't put sophomores and freshmen or whatever against number 2 or whoever in a one-on-one situation without some safety help. And I don't know that the kid from Lebanon reminds me of Richardson from Florida a little bit. He's a great athlete, and he's got a cannon of an arm.
Yeah.
And he can throw it deep.
yeah, he did.
And he did often.
Yeah.
But they don't throw the intermediate
They
stuff.
do not throw the
They
intermediate
don't-
stuff.
He doesn't read real good.
No.
They do a pretty good job of catching him, but he likes to go deep, and
Well, there was 2 touchdown passes dropped last night.
Yeah, there were drops.
They had a couple.
Could have been
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, well, they scored on those drives anyway.
But David, you brought this up. This was the best team I've seen us play, including Riverdale.
Yeah.
This team's
Yeah.
better than Riverdale.
Yeah, they are.
I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah, they seemed to have good line play
Mm-hmm.
in every skill position. They didn't drop off any. I mean,
And I do think if they play Coffee County again, it won't be the same. Lebanon will get them the next time.
I think so too, but I don't. Where would that matchup come?
At least third
Third.
round.
Third round, so it's deep in the playoffs. So
Right.
I see Lebanon. I see Lebanon and Coffee County being out before then because you don't know who you hit.
No, you don't.
But
I'm gonna tell you what, both those teams pretty good.
yeah, so
They're
where
both pretty good.
will we go east?
Well, who
No, we match up with
You matched up with
Rutherford County,
Hendersonville.
don't you?
No, you go to that other.
Oh, that's
other-
right, y'all. We're 6A now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
you
it's
get-
Rutherford. It's Rutherford.
It's
County.
Rutherford.
Rutherford.
Because I went last year. We played Oakland.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, well, Oakland's gonna
Yeah.
plow. I mean, they're gonna plow through.
Yeah.
They're winning state championship.
Well, they'll be 1 and 2. So you're looking at a Rockvale. I say that's probably going to be.
Coffee County.
Well, I mean,
Well, it'll be a one versus a four.
I'm talking about the Rutherford County.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be Oakland, then very well Rockvale,
Right.
Stewart's Creek,
Right. Blackman.
Blackman, Siegel, Blackman for them.
Yeah.
Could be a Riverdale.
So R1 would play their 4 and R2 would
Right.
play their 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
But
That's right.
so
1, 4, 2, 3.
yeah, so I mean, they might Lebanon might go on. I mean, coffee.
At least
You never
past first
know.
round
It's
anyway.
interesting because the season starts all over when that starts happening. So
Mhm.
it's going to
But
be interesting
Lebanon's
to
got
watch.
the
That.
athletes to play with these
Yeah.
Rutherford County.
Yeah, they
teams.
do. They
Number
they
two,
really
like
would.
you said, I know the number, and man, that guy can fly.
They
Yeah.
may have athletes. They don't have the trenches to play with others,
Right.
but they got athletes.
They got that.
So here, if you're a coach at Central, you still have 2 region games.
We're
Still got a chance to make the
that's right.
playoffs.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Win those 2 games.
if you beat Warren County and Cook,
And
well,
I'm
you're in.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, arguably, they've played the toughest part of their region.
Oh yeah,
They have.
they have.
They've played
1 and 2.
the toughest. They've played the toughest teams in the region
Yeah.
so far.
And you can finish at 3rd if you just win the last 2
Mhm.
games.
Mhm.
So this season is not over for Central by any stretch of imagination. And this late in the season, Kenny, don't you start to see some of those sophomores start to gravitate up?
Well, it's time. It's
Yeah.
time. Mhm.
All right, maybe we see that happen. We want to wish them the best of luck next week as they go to Hendersonville to play. They always have a decent team up there.
Hendersonville's 2 and 4. They got beat last night by Clarksville. They scored some points, but they got beat 56-36.
Okay.
So they're 2 and 4, but that's pretty good ball in Sumner County.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's
Very
no
good.
question. No question about that. All right. Cascade last night
Talk about impressive.
went to Forest and rolled
Big
49 to nothing. I did
On
not
the
see
road.
that one coming.
Big win for the program.
Yeah.
Big
it definitely
win.
was.
I can tell you, brothers playing brothers. That's a big route. Cascade. When I was coaching, we had 3 big games. Well, I take that back. We had 4. We had Moore County. We had Community. We had Joe Burns.
Right.
And
Forest.
we had Forest.
Yeah.
And that was and them to go in and put 49 on Forest and hold them out of the hold them. I mean,
Very
you can
impressive.
say what you want to. This team had some injuries. This team this team. Hey, it boiled down to, if you listen to it, I got to listen to a little bit of it. Forrest turned the ball over 5 times, 3
Okay.
fumbles, 2 interceptions. Cascade had a lot to do with that.
Okay.
Cascade beat them up front.
Okay.
Cascade beat them in the trenches. They rushed for 25 times for 283 yards,
Wow.
6 touchdowns. So 25 and 286. Old math teacher here, that's almost 12 yards a carry.
Yeah. Yeah.
The quarterback Dixon carried it 10 times, 73 yards, 3 touchdowns. Threw 15 passes. He was 9 for 15, 76 yards and a touchdown. The fullback, Connor Huey, had another night. He carried the ball 10 times, 69 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Wow. Okay.
It's 21-0 at halftime, and the second play of the game, Huey bust one for a touchdown. A second play of the second half, and then next time they get the ball, he gets it again, bust another one. So very impressive. Cascade only gave up 85 yards total offense.
Wow. You play defense like that, have that many turnovers, you can win every
And
time.
Forest is a hard place to play. That's
It is.
that's a really good home field advantage Chapelville's got, and that community backs them.
That community
Backs them. That's a good win to go over there in that environment and win 49-0 is very impressive.
I think we own that field.
Okay.
I'm gonna boast for my kids in our program when they opened that facility up. And man, I'm telling you right
Mhm.
now, it's as nice as
It is.
anybody's. It's as nice as anybody's. We played the first varsity game on that field
I didn't know that.
and won.
There you go. That's a way to set the tone.
But this is Cascade's 3rd shutout of the year.
I know.
This is their 3rd shutout. So they're doing something. And, you know, they've lost 3 games. We keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Moore County,
Yeah.
1 loss. Mount Pleasant, 1 loss. Richland, 1 loss. They played some pretty good stuff and felt like they had opportunities to win all 3 of those games.
Yeah. Playoff wise, this district, how does that match up? Who do you match up with? Which way?
I think I overheard somebody talking about Lewis County. I haven't looked into
that.
I was thinking Cascade.
I was thinking it was West.
I thought Cascade played Lewis County in the first round last year.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. I think you go West.
But I hadn't looked into that. Hey, they're not in.
No.
You got to do what you got to do now.
But this was a big win to get there.
It was a big one. It was a let's just say a must win.
Right.
If you want to make playoffs.
I'll be honest with you. I thought that was going to be a good matchup in a close game.
I did too.
I did too.
I really did. But
I mean, they had the
score
same
shots,
record
man.
coming in.
yeah, but we talk about, you know,
Who you play?
I'm not surprised Cascade won. I'm surprised by how much.
well that's I agree with that. But when you look at what Cascade had played before and what Forest had played before, just the caliber of the competition, Cascade played a little tougher schedule going into that.
And that other district game was big last night. Mount Pleasant beat Richland 38-28. That was a big ball game.
And that didn't shock me.
Neither.
I'm telling you right now, I've seen both of those. Mount Pleasant's got some athletes.
Yeah, they do.
Hey,
Always have.
Mount Pleasant's got some athletes.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, do you guys think that Cascade's fighting for second?
No.
Third.
Loretto?
No.
Who's it going to be?
Richland and
Oh,
Mount
yeah.
Pleasant,
Okay, yeah,
Richland.
they're going to be 1 and 2.
Okay, I forgot about
Neither
Richland.
one of them will probably lose another district game this year.
Okay, and then you got
Now,
Loretto, and
the
they're
next-
2-1, and then
The next, well, they go to Joe Burns
Right.
this week. And then after the Joe Burns game, they play Loretto. That will be for 3rd place.
Coach, is Joe Burns what they want? Are they as good as they
Well,
used to be?
They got beat by Gordonsville last night, 14-6. I do not think they're what they used to be. Because when you say what they used to be,
They had a program going.
3-4 rounds of the playoffs.
Yep.
And it was those.
You had kids from Dixon going out to Joe Burns to play football.
You had
Because Joe Burns was so good.
Yeah, I remember
Dixon
that
wasn't.
time.
They were leaving from Clarksville and from Dixon,
Yep.
from Springfield, and they had some pretty good. You know, my first year to play them, Pat Head Summit's nephew was their quarterback.
wow. Okay, so they were drawing.
They were, but good program, great coach, really good friends. I've got a lot of respect for the Joe Burns program. Doesn't mean I don't want to beat them every time I play them, but got a lot of respect. And when Coach Jake signed his contract a couple years ago, and he said, "Hey, we got Joe Burns back on it.
There you go.
You'll be happy."
Well, guys, let's take a break and come back and talk about some other scores around the area.
And we're going to talk a little Harris Junior
We'll
High
do that.
Football Championship game today at 4 o'clock. Middle school football.
Yeah, we'll bring that up.
I want to talk about that.
All right, we'll be right back real quick with a word from our sponsor.
I'm Randy Carroll, and I'm a candidate for Shelbyville City Mayor, and I'm asking for your vote. Early voting starts October the 19th, and the election day is November the 8th. If you want someone that listen to you, vote Randy Carroll, a voice for the people.
All right, guys, we're back in here now, and I know, Bill, this is something
You'll be surprised what a pair of wire pliers.
I know. Thanks,
That's right. That's
thanks,
right.
Kenny, for getting that fixed. And again, thanks,
Going old
Mr.
school.
Randy Carroll, for being a sponsor here today for us. Let's go over some scores. We didn't talk about this, but Mount Pleasant did beat Richland 38-28 by 10 points. Loretto beat Summertown 35-0. And then we talked about the Cascades final scores 49-9. Kenny, have you got any others? I know Tullahoma beat Hillwood last night.
Tullahoma won, I believe that was like 42-10
Yeah,
or something like that.
it's a pretty good beat. Beat down.
I know Community has 2 region games left, Cannon County and Grundy County, and they played against each other last night. Cannon County beat Grundy 30-12. So community will host Huntland this week, and then their last 3 games, 2 of them is Cannon County, one's Cannon County, one's community. Grundy County, and the other one's a team out of Kentucky. So
If community could get their kids back,
well,
they might make a little noise here with these last two
and I will
games.
say this: their last 4 games, I can't comment about the Kentucky team because I know nothing about them, but I know they're all winnable games.
Right.
They've got a shot in every one of them, so they could end up 5-5.
Yeah.
If they win out, they could be 5-5.
Yeah. I got those 4 games left.
Mm-hmm.
Who else in the region? I know Oakland rolled last night. They beat
But
Oakland
63.
Blackman.
Yeah, Oakland, and I think probably Blackman's the number 2 team
Yeah.
in that.
You see how they're just pulled. They're just so far.
Put up 63 last night, didn't they? Oakland had
I'm not
63,
sure what
63 to whatever.
But they're
63 points.
Let me ask you, how do you score 63 points when you got
With a running clock. You got to be pretty
well,
good.
they didn't have a running clock. I think Blackman scored enough points there for a while
to
and
keep with
to
them?
keep the clock from running. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know what that final score was.
Well, I
I
mean,
saw it, but I didn't write it down.
You take this game I talked to you about earlier, Clarksville and Hendersonville, 56-36. So you're looking at, 92 points. You keep them. Somebody
Yeah.
don't play defense, but
Well, you look at Oakland, and you got to think that they're going to win the state in that division, unless you run into
That's hard to say that.
the East
hard to say
Tennessee
that.
bunch. I know, but
they always it's usually it's Oakland and Maryville.
it's going to be probably the same
Could
thing
very well
again.
be on that side.
Boy, they got machines, Kenny. How do you get something like that, and you just never have a down year? I mean, they seem like the Alabama of Tennessee.
Well, we had it here in our basketball program.
Yeah.
You get good, people want to be part of it. They will come to be part of it. You just can't win.
Takes continuity too
You
with your
can't
coaching
win-
staff.
We talked about it. You can't win with just talent.
Yeah.
You gotta develop it. It's got to keep getting better. You got to have chemistry in the locker room. And I'm gonna tell you, if you've not seen those kids work out, I'm telling you what, they put them through the mill in the off-season programs. I mean, it's just not they walk out of the classroom onto they put in the time.
Yeah.
They put in the time, and they're athletes and play well together. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I said it all along. Kevin Crease is sharp.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He's a good organizer. He has the kids wanting to play for him, and they know because they see some of their guys that they played with move on to LSU and some of the other programs, that if they put in the work, the time in the classroom, they got a chance also.
Yeah, I want to go back to Shelbyville Central just for a second. I feel like we're kind of in a fog with Central right now. We lost a lot of players last year, lost their coach, got a new coach, got a lot of young players. We're kind of in a fog, but that fog's going to clear.
Well,
And
and I'll say this for the coach that they've got now. He had his back against the wall. He was in an alley when he
Yes,
started.
he was.
Going in, he knew he was going to have to be on the road for 6 games. Shelbyville, and I'm going to tell you, Shelbyville had been successful, and some of these programs don't want to play you when you're successful.
right,
So you have to bump up your schedule, and you're seeing they had to bump up who they were playing in order to get games.
well, I think
I'd
that
never scheduled Riverdale. I wouldn't be going up to Hendersonville.
you-
I'd have had somebody else.
so
If I
you-
had to go play a single A team, I'd have found
So
somebody else.
you're getting that now that in that.
It's better than a loss.
You've got some of you got some of them that only play 9 games because of that.
Right.
yeah,
You know, Oakland has had to go out of state
yeah.
to play
I
some.
would imagine so.
So you see, Maryville's Maryville hits the same way.
But
You get
there's
some
talent coming at Shelbyville.
Yeah.
We see it with the freshmen and sophomores.
That's what we're fixing to talk about. You want
There's
to talk
talent
about
coming.
Harris Middle School? They ain't had many points scored on them.
No.
And they host the game, the CTC championship game today at 4:00 at Central Stadium.
Encourage everybody to come out and watch these
everybody
kids
needs
play.
to get there. And I know, Bill, you've been watching them. So, what's your impression? I know you're
MVP of the league. Probably is Todd Bobo and John T. Bobo's grandson, Stephen Bobo, and he's a player. And he's not the only one. They've got talent, and these kids are getting after it. And usually the game's over at halftime. I'm not saying it will be today. Today's championship game.
Who
They've already beat Tullahoma. They've already beat them before.
Okay.
And this is ought to be just a great chance for them to actually win the championship today. And
Well,
I encourage everybody to come out and watch these boys play.
yeah, that's at 4:00.
4:00
I want to
today
encourage
at
you to get out
Central.
at Central High School. All right, let's change gears now to the college. Last week, of course, we saw Tennessee get that victory against Florida, and the Big Orange Nation is riding high right now.
Well, people like Coach Parker and I, and any of you all out there that have Dish Network, you're not going to be happy today. And I'm not happy because ESPN and the Disney channels aren't on Dish. That's a lot of college football that Coach Parker and I aren't going to be able to watch.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I guess I got to start.
It's a big game.
It's at Arkansas.
At Arkansas, a red out,
And if
they
there's
will be.
if one thing Alabama might not be as good at to me is in the secondary. Maybe I just don't think they're quite as good as they have been. And Arkansas, I think, is going to make it. Alabama probably wins the ball game easily, but I think Arkansas is going to make a game of it.
I've got the upset alert right there, 28-27. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like
I think it's going to be close.
I think Arkansas at home has a chance to beat them. And I
I do
think this is
too.
when they pull the upset.
I don't know if they're going to pull the upset, but I
now-
think they play it close.
You don't want to play Alabama. If that were to happen, you don't want to play Alabama after that.
No,
But
You know who plays Alabama after
Tennessee,
that? Is it Tennessee? I thought it was.
no,
A&M.
it's not. It's
A&M, and then Tennessee. So
Tennessee's
either
got
one
LSU
of them.
next week.
But I'm predicting that upset. But all right, Kentucky, Mississippi.
Now, that ought to be a good ball game,
You know what? It's on ESPN.
and we're not going to get it. We're going to David Thomas's house.
I got Kentucky winning 35-31 over Mississippi.
I can't root against my boy.
You pulling for him?
I like less.
Okay.
I like less.
All right.
Yeah, I
The
think
game's at Ole Miss,
it's at Ole Miss.
and that's why I'll give Ole Miss the advantage, just because it's at home. I think if it's at Kentucky, I'll go Kentucky.
He's pretty good.
But I do think it's a good ball game.
I don't disagree with you.
All right, but so I'm going against y'all too on that one. Florida, Eastern Washington. I got Florida winning 37-14. Don't know anything about Eastern Washington, but I'm
You
just
don't know
thinking
anything
that's what-
about Eastern.
No,
You've got the red field. They
Okay.
got the red.
All right,
turf.
the red turf. I
But
think it's going to turn
they're
orange.
probably at
today.
Florida where it's green.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
they
all right.
play on. If you ever watch college football and you see a red field, it's the Eastern Washington Eagles.
Kind of like Boise
Well,
State's
boys
got the
taking
blue
the
field.
blue field.
Yeah.
That just drives me crazy. I
I
ain't
can't
figured
stand
that.
that. I can't stand that red.
I
I don't
bet.
like the blue, but that red is whoosh.
All right, we've got South Carolina State. I got South Carolina 44-10.
I think that game's actually already happened. It's 50-10.
Was it? Okay.
I think they played last night.
I
I
had
think you're
44-10. I had
I think
44-10
you're
on
correct.
that one. All right, and then of course Arkansas, Alabama, and then LSU, Auburn.
LSU's going to roll. I don't like the vibes at Auburn.
Man, when you start messing with Auburn stuff, Auburn can get that jinx out. Then they'll come right back out. Don't count Auburn out.
I don't like the
All right,
vibes from
I
Auburn.
didn't say I liked them.
I don't like the vibes from Auburn. I know it's at Auburn. I like LSU big.
All right, well I got LSU winning that one 28-24. Georgia, Missouri. Georgia.
It's going to be brutal.
Did you see Georgia play last week?
No, I didn't. I didn't
Good,
watch it.
because they didn't.
They didn't play well.
play.
They didn't play well.
So you know what that means.
They're gonna
They're gonna
play.
trounced
They're
Missouri.
gonna play. I got 31-10 over that. Texas A&M, Mississippi State. I got Texas A&M 31-21.
Here's my upset. I like
You go,
Mississippi State. Be part of that. I like Mississippi State
That's
to pull.
part of it.
And this is down at Mississippi State and Starkville too, right?
I think the scheme has a whole lot to do with it.
Well,
Well, that's like Tennessee's. You know, when
Right.
when Tennessee's coach came in, he didn't have the great receivers that everybody was talking about, but his scheme was spread the field, get them in open, hit them at
Run
the
a lot
right
of plays,
time,
wear
and
you
let
out,
them
wear you
play a
down.
little one-on-one.
Right.
yeah. Well, I tell you,